Yo, caller, you on the air. What's your name and where you calling from?
Zaiyah's house uptown.
Palmetto on a Palmetto.
Zaiyah's house uptown.
Stop it, that's not hot.
Zaiyah's house uptown.
Oh, you think the world is round, but it's flat.
Zaiyah's house uptown.
Rest of the bull, you get the horns.
Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of Zaiyah's House. I'm your host, Zaiyah 007, and this handsome young man here is
Uptown.
Thank you all for joining us for this glorious occasion. How you doing today, young man?
Zaiyah, I'm doing good. I can't complain. It's beautiful. Summer's great. How's everything going with you?
What have you done? What makes your summer so great?
Summer, I've just been relaxing. I've just been enjoying the weather. You know, went to the beach a couple of times.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, got some, laid in the sand. I'm not a big sand guy.
You wear the long shorts that go down to your ankle?
Nah, not at all. Nice regular knee shorts.
Were your knees exposed or
Yes,
covered your
knees was exposed. I'm an old guy now.
Old school.
Knees exposed, had one gray showing.
Oh, yeah?
On the beard, and then one gray.
Would you have the, what do you wear, wife beater?
Oh, I don't beat my wife.
No. This shirt, let me clarify.
Yes, I did have a tank top on. So.
Okay. Oh, excuse me.
Yes, a tank top.
Because you got some wife beater cling, so you go. Be scaring the kids.
Every time I give a Zaiyah, he gets younger every minute. Got every new hit word.
Yeah, right.
White beater.
Oh man, well.
How was your summer going?
I've been music, and more music. I've been playing with some really, very good artists. Have something planned that I'm trying to work with my job to bring some music over there.
Okay.
And I got a female singer that y'all might remember from the past. Elvira J is going to come out. She's not in retirement. She's too young to be in retirement.
Right.
But she's going to come back in the studio and grace us with her presence.
That's good. It's
So
one of my favorite artists you work with.
Yeah.
Definitely. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a quick break and we're back in the hot section.
See you when we see.
Listen closely, so your attention's undivided. Many in the past have tried to do what I did. Just the way I came off then, I'm gonna come off stronger and longer, even with the drum off.
I don't care who's first or who last, but I know that y'all just better rock this at the drop of a dime, baby.
Yeah, that's that classic symphony record from 1988, man. A lot of people don't know this, but I wasn't supposed to be on that record. The original lineup for that record was supposed to be Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap, Craig G, MC Shan. A lot of people don't know that. That whole song was done the same day that we shot the cover for Marley Marl in Control Volume 1. If anybody has that cover, they look on the back cover, you see us standing by a Learjet. Got the whole Juice crew there, you got Biz there, you got Kane there, Shan, everybody was there. After that photo shoot, Marley collected everybody and he said that he wanted to go to his crib in Astoria, Queens and do this record, the last record for the album. And Shan was supposed to be one of the MCs. Well, MC Shan basically said, to Marley that he felt like, he said this on the side, but Marley told us later what went down. He was like, that he felt like he planned himself to be on the record with all these new jacks. At that point, Kane didn't have no album out, G-Rap no album, Craig no album. And he just felt like, he was the man at that time. Shan was the top dude on the label, on Cold Chillin' Records at that time, and he felt like him being on that record he felt like he was belittling himself to be on a record with these new dudes. So he fell back. He jumped in his Audi 5000 and sped off wherever he was going. So Marley said, yo, fuck it, it's just gonna be y'all three. So we went over to Marley crib or whatever. He put the beat on. You got Kane over here on the table writing his rhyme. You got Craig on the couch writing his rhyme. G-Rap by the kitchen, everybody's writing their rhyme. And I'm just listening to the beat and listening to, just vibing. And came time to do the verses. And nobody wanted to rhyme first. That was the whole thing. Everybody was like, Craig was like, nah, let Kane go. Kane was like, nah, let G go. Everybody's passing the buck. Everybody was scared. Nobody wanted to hear nobody else's verse, I think. So I'm just sitting there just waiting, and whatever. Marley looked at me and said, yo, Ace, you got a verse, man. These guys acting like they scared to blast the mic off. You know, can you set it off for these dudes just to warm the mic up since these dudes acting scared? And I stepped into the room and I laid my verse down, and everybody loosened up, and then everybody went one by one. Now, I don't think the plan was to even keep my verse. I think he really just wanted me to kind of get these guys, you know, off their chairs and get them in the booth. But once he heard the verse and heard them all together, I guess Marley just said, yo, I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it just like that. I like your verse. And I wound up being on a historic record, just really on a humble. I gotta thank MC Shan for being on the vibe that he was on of not wanting to be on the record. Cause that helped me to be known. Now people know my name because of Shan's decision. So good looking, Shan. Yo, what up, y'all? This is Master Ace, and you watching True Hip Hop Stories.
But I know that y'all just better rock this at the drop of a dime, baby. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but it got to be funky. It got to be funky if you're gonna be on it. I don't care who start, I don't care what y'all do, but you got to be finished before the music is through. Now who's first up to bat?
Listen closely, so your attention's undivided. Many in the past have tried to do what I did. It's just the way I came off then, I'm gonna come off stronger and longer, even with the drum off. I'll keep on going and flowing just like a river. I got a whole lot to give, so I'm a giver. Little at a time, new trails I'm blazing. Action is in effect, it always stays in. Yeah, just like a shot from a cannon. I am the man in charge, and I've been planning a jam strong enough that it can lift your soul. I'm the originator, and my rhymes are made of gold. Once you hear the capital A, rap it'll stay with you for a while. It won't go away unless you force it. Of course it stays with you, my friend, and if you force it away, I'ma hit you again. I believe that's me. Craig G, light up the mic for the symphony. This jam is dedicated to all unoptimistics that thought I wasn't coming out with some exquisite rhymes. Well, that's alright, cause now I'm back to kill all the rumors and straighten the facts of me. Now rockin' rhymes like I always used to, but you jumped on the tip when you heard me in the Juice Cruise. You said, ain't that something? Yo, Craig, I heard you in that jam and it's pumping. I apologize, oh yeah, and can I have your autograph for me and my grandma? That's how I'm living, on surprise mode. Don't even sleep, try not to keep your eyes closed, cause if you do, when you awaken, the so-called spot will be taken. I'll take it over like a greedy executive, cause on the mic, my perspective is to be the best in all rap events. And since I have the car, I call experience.
Next up,
yo, I believe that's me. G-Rap, light up the mic for the symphony. Yo, Marley gives a slice. I get nice and my voice is twice as horrifying as this in price. Goes deep till you fell in a spell of sleep. And while I'm counting the money, you count sheep. When G-Rap strikes the mic, I recite the type, the hype that you like to make the people unite. I grip off hips and zip off lips, step on reps. You flip and wanna sip on my tip. Take a deep breath because you don't have another left. Coming back like I'm revenging my brother's death. Making veterans run for medicine, cause I put out more life in a fight the Con Edisons. Rip the damn cage like I'm on a rampage. So if you want rage, I'ma make front page. Read the headlines,
suckers, the day's the deadline. Your head is way past bedtime.
Next up.
I believe that's mixed. Your daddy can't get on a mic for the symphony. Setting it off, letting it off, beginning. Rough till the ending. You never been in. Move the groove with the smooth rap lord. Like a bottle of juice. Rhymes are being poured down your ear, crisp and clear as I prepare to wear, tear and smear. Then I'm out of here with the mark left that you can all cling. Cause rockin' a party, yo, it's a small thing. I've written many places on regular basis, and broken down mics were the only traces that I've been there, in there at the party. The mic had my prints, and on it was a body. So take caution, I'm not horsing around in a throwdown clown, I'm taking yours, son. So just acknowledge the way that I kicked it, cause if rap was a house, you'd be evicted and dismissed from the microphone. Choking on a poem, cause daddy's home. And battling me is hazardous to health. So put a quarter in your cause you played yourself. I reign superior, always taking care of ya. No frill rappers, you will evaporate, disintegrate, deflate to your fate. And the great will dominate straight to the stage of reigning, gaining. So put Kane in that category, period, in the story.
I still have beats, what's wrong with you? Yo, fellas, y'all got to do something on this dead track. They ain't gonna let the track house you. What? You let these track house you? What? Yo, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Okay, we back, and we still black. What are we going to now, young man?
Well, we're gonna go into. I want to give congratulations to the people in Harlem, New York City. They fought the fights of a name change or people using his name Soha, which technically they've been using that name for over 10 years. And this is what it is. Soha been up. They have buildings with some Soha stuff on it, and it basically just means South Harlem. So I was quite taken back a little bit, but I said, okay, let me see. Soha means South Harlem, and people are upset about it because they just want to be called Harlem. And so I said, okay, what's really going on? I talked to a lot of people in Harlem. They're just mad that people are coming into their community, like they own the community. Like they own, I'm like, oh, you own the community? Because if you don't own property or a business there, you just basically live in there like a renter, basically, you know. I don't know, I'm not saying people that rent don't have no rights, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, if you're not buying into your community, why do you care what the next person put on their business establishment? Like, how do it hurt you? As long as it ain't nothing racist or whatever, how do you care? Why do you mind? But people fought that fight. I would think they would fight for education or more jobs or so forth, but this is what they did, and, you know, congrats to them for that type of fight.
I don't agree with everything that Brother Umar Johnson says, and some things I agree with, but I don't agree with them to the severity of what that he agrees. I'm more or less eclectic. When I was in the military and it said what's your religion, it was eclectic. I believe everything.
Right.
You know, as long as you're not messing with anybody, you know, I can deal with. People have free will, but what he was saying about the what he said, the four pillars, the
Yes.
hospital, the bank, school, and what was the fourth one? Hospital, bank, school, and place to sell your supermarket.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because you got food. To say that the community is yours, and for example, he used Chinatown, and he used Little Italy, and these places that you can go to any city and they have these enclaves that are predominantly one religion or culture. But the black community doesn't have that because whatever reason, you know. But I think it's something that we're gonna have to start to develop. But there's a lot of walking dead amongst us. a lot of damage has been done to the black community because when they put the dope in the communities and when they put the crack in the communities and now they get ready to come with this fentanyl, you know, because, you know, anytime they put it in the white community, it comes to the black community next. So all of them white people right now are dying from that fentanyl and what's that drug, codeine, what's the painkiller they're giving them, and then they go into heroin.
Not Vicodin, right?
No, what's heroin? Heroin is what's the medical term for it? Not methadone, that's a synthetic one. It comes from the opium poppy. They're giving opioids. So they're dying from that. And they're giving them this fentanyl, which is like you take a amount that goes on a pinhead and can kill you. Same thing that killed Prince. But anyway, so they keep damaging our communities. And then the other thing is, I don't know if I heard this with you, but I was talking to somebody and they were talking about gentrification. You know, they kept saying, "Oh,
yeah, we were talking about that."
Yeah, and basically the person was saying that they, you know, they come in there to keep you from having an enclave. You know, to keep you from having a concentration of black people. We're gonna allow white people to move in there to water that down because we don't want you to get nothing too, you know, substantial. So I understand what the people who want to keep it called Harlem mean, because there's a certain pride that, you know this, you've traveled. You go any place in the world and you say Brooklyn in the house.
Right.
There's going to be some fools somewhere in a corner someplace that's going to jump up and lose their damn mind. And Harlem is the same way. Cats from Harlem, I could tell a cat from Harlem. I said, this cat does this from Harlem, right? So how you know? It's a certain way cats in Harlem carry themselves. Those guys, not all of them.
Right.
You know, those guys are sneaker wearing, the gator wearing, you know, they just dress in one certain way. They drive a certain type of car. They might be living with their mother, but they drive a certain type of car. You know, they fly on the outside. Who knows who they're living with, where they living, how they living.
Right.
But they have a certain pride in their dress and what they wear, jewels and cars. Do you find that to be true?
Yes, I do. I should agree with you.
Okay. So, those people, I'm from Harlem. Like when I was in cooking school in San Francisco and the brother came in and said, I'm from Manhattan, I'm from Harlem. I almost felt like I was from a third world country when I said I was from the Bronx. Because we all know how the Bronx was. You know what I'm saying?
Get back to the burning
burnt
Bronx.
down, boogie down, the burnt down, trashed out. He said, I'm from Harlem. I was like, damn, I want to be from Harlem too. You know. But, so I understand that Harlem pride. You know, you changing the Lakers to the Los Angeles, you know, luncheon. You know, so you can't do that. You can't change that. But it's going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. I mean, I've been around long enough to know that there's just certain things that's going to happen. It's called change. And until you invest enough in your community where, like you were saying about the churches and stuff, you're going to address that?
Yes, the church, Calvin Butts in Harlem, got a coalition, assembly coalition, with a lot of the other church owners. They all came together. Came together for, you know, they invested in some Pathmark. The Pathmark was owned by the coalition, the church coalition.
On Lex and 125th.
Right. They sold it now, but the point I'm just trying to make is that they all came together, different religious denominations. You know, I'm Baptist, I'm this, I'm that. But when it came down to do business, they had one goal. They didn't care what they didn't care if you was a Protestant, they didn't care. At the end of the day, they said, yo, let's put our money together. Let's get this property. Let's get this Pathmark and that Pathmark. Let's get business together. And they did it. They had one goal. A lot of people in Harlem didn't know that. I guess some people did, but a lot of people also, when it came to, they didn't find out until they were selling property. It was like,
they want to do it on the slide.
Yeah, they want, and then, you know, a certain percentage had to go back to whatever. But other people was like, wait a minute, you made my deacon, my pastor, you know, so on and forth, is a part of that? And I've been telling them for years that my child or my daughter needed a summer job, and they just turned the cheek and told me to pray on it. They actually could have did something. They're part of But they did hire people that from the community, people that was in the know. If you was in the know, you got broke off a little bit. So those people that invested into their church, or was part of the board of the church, yes, a lot of their family members did get jobs there. And the other people that just came to church, donate their money, and didn't speak up, you didn't get nothing. And they didn't share the information. That was the big thing, so they didn't share. But yes, they are part of the community. There's people in the community working together doing things. You have to go to the meetings, the monthly board meetings, the community board meetings. You have to go there. You'll find out a lot of information if you go. I've been to a few.
If I was going to join a church, which I mean, I'd have to be the pastor if I was to join a church. I'm not a follower, I'm a leader. I'm sorry. I don't need you to tell me what God said.
You could be on the board side.
But if I was going to be in church, it would have to be multi-denominational, and it would have to have some type of banking accreditations. Whereas we have somebody there, like we have an accountant. The this church is doing things.
Oh, but most churches don't have accountant. They do have accountant.
No. I mean, like, you see how these cults do? How they start off, like my man out in California, and then he went over to Jim Jones.
Okay.
You see, he started off, and he had everybody bring their wealth in, and they donated their wealth to the church, and he broke them off a little hard to live in. They said, we're going to go out to Guyana, and we're going to live out there. We bought a plot of earth, and they cleared it, what have you. Okay, the guy was clearly lost his mind, you know,
Right.
when you find out about what he did. But he was able to do that. You understand what I'm saying? He was able to get these people ready, and a lot of people do it. You know, what's it, Gresh? The guy that had all the people with that, when they went over there and bombed them, the government bombed them, and they had the kids and everything in there. I forgot the name of that. I remember in a second. But anyway, what I'm saying is, if I'm going to join a church, it doesn't have to be the extremes that those churches were. I'm just saying that I'm giving money. A certain amount of my pay is supposed to be given as tithes. Those tithes should be an investment, because if your church is making a surplus, there should be a rule that the church should only be able to make this much money surplus, and then after that, that money is invested.
Well, they don't really invest their money anyway.
No.
Into the church.
No. I'm saying is that money is supposed to be invested in something. Either
In the community?
We're building a school.
Okay.
We're building a supermarket.
Hospital.
A hospital. You know, one of those pillars that he was talking about. And we get things done, you know. And we know who belongs to what church. We know who comes to what church. Because what'll happen over time is you'll have white people that want to be, you know, they be in church doing cartwheels with everybody else because they see that's where the money is. You know, it's like coming to sow pile or whatever.
Right.
They see that's where the money is. When there was no money there, no money to be made, when the banks wasn't giving them money to come up there and start there. Of course, they're going to push everybody out. That's the reason why they don't want those big box things to come up there, because they're going to kill the neighborhood. It's going to be, they're going to hire people. If you look at Target and them, they don't pay any money.
Right.
And they push everybody out. You can't compete with them. So there goes the community.
Right. I mean.
They can only hire so many people.
Right, that's what I was talking about the mom and pop stores. When people ask me about the mom and pop store, the mom and pop store don't exist. And I say, well, how can a mom and pop store exist if a mom and pop store can only hire, and this is just a number I'm throwing out there, let's say 10 employees. Mom and pop store can hire 10 employees. 5 of them most likely going to be a family member. I mean, so then you got 5 people from the community you're hiring. Okay, that seems good, but a store like Whole Food comes in, and then they hire about 300-400 people. Which one you think is going to be more for the community? I hate to say that mom and pop store, when mom and pops wind up living there, they're moving out to a different community, but they only hired 5 people for the community, or that Whole Food store. Mom and pop store cannot survive in those neighborhoods. They have to go. I'm sorry to say it, they have to go. they can't compete on a big level. Mom and pop store will have to come together, like some of the churches did, and then sit there and come up with a big plan. Say, you know what? Let's stop competing with each other on a small scale. Let's put our money together and let's open up a major department store that we can, like a Target or Walmart, and just have a variety of different items. If you look at a Walmart, they sell food, clothes, furniture, electronics. So you need, and mom and pop store used to be like that. There was the cleaners, you had the shoemaker. They needed to come together like that.
But the problem with that now is mom and pop stores rent. They don't own.
Yes, and that's what I'm trying to say. That's the
So
issue.
if they rent, then they don't have the money to go into business like that. It would have to be, wow, how would you pull something like that off? You need a major damn investor
Yes, for that to happen.
for
So
that to happen.
right, but I'm saying this is something that mom and pop stores
Because even
had to start thinking about this way back in the days.
because if you think about people like Shaq and LeBron and all of these athletes and different people that have businesses, it's always like a franchise.
Yeah, that was
Like 100 Buffalo Wing spots.
Yeah.
They don't open up a big box place.
Right.
Because that takes a lot. They'd rather buy a damn team and lose money.
Yes,
than, take on some big box, like, excuse my language, some big box thing. So I can see where the challenge in that comes. But now what's making it worse is brick and mortar is becoming like the 8-track tape. People are buying stuff online. So now they trying to figure out how to reinvent the wheel. Because now with all these drones, these people want to deliver stuff by drones. So that's going to be even less work. The person that delivers is going to be out of a job. If they got a drone deliver it, damn well they're going to have a robot making it. Why I need somebody to mess this order up? You type in the order, machine drops the fries in the oil, the other scoops it out, puts it, you want a lot of salt, a little, they have it down to the grain of salt. It's not a kid who's talking on his cell phone and just dumping salt and stuff, But sometimes you go in these stores and it's like, just think about it. When your child was 16, 17 years old, would you let your child cook for you? Most of us would say no.
Exactly.
Not a chance in hell. But you go to these things, these kids come from school, go right in there and start cooking your food.
So the thing in Harlem I'm just saying is that, I know people don't like to change. Change is still going to be there. My thing is try to invest, find a way to start a business, be a part of it, go to community board meetings because it's there. You got to find out what's going on in the community.
If you know history, if you study history, there ain't nothing you can do to stop this besides something that's illegal. So you might as well try to get in where you fit in. Simple as that. Because Wrangell and them, they sold Harlem out a long time ago. When they chased them people off on 25th Street, Harlem bought and paid for a while back. All them people been sitting back, they bought that property and sat back. Okay, y'all haven't cleaned it up so I can get to building my stuff. It's just the way it is. I mean, they did it to the Lower East Side, they did it to Long Island City, they getting ready to do it up here in the Bronx.
Yeah, Bronx is next.
Bronx is next.
Is that Brooklyn already?
Yeah, Brooklyn's. You can't afford to move in Brooklyn. And when you go to Long Island City, as soon as you get up that first stop, you show them big high rises they building. I'm like, wow. To the tip of the water. So
Waterfront property.
be ready. All you should do now is if you're in a problem. Do you remember me saying this before? Save
Yes,
your pennies.
I remember
Save your pennies.
Yes.
The stuff that's going to happen and stuff. You just got to find, what you want to invest in and find some people. I wanted to do the food truck thing, but it's not a good investment. I'm reading up on that, and they're like saying to get permits to do this, that, the other, and that. It's just like you lose too much money. But what we going to now, young man?
Well, then I'm going to take a quick break. We'll get back to the hot segment.
In 1964, the desegregation of Jonesboro, Louisiana High School was threatened by local authorities with fire hoses. 4 armed black men arrived with loaded shotguns. Without firing a shot, the mob dispersed and the authorities retreated. The students entered the school without incident. Those men were members of the Deacons for Defense, an armed citizens militia founded in Jonesboro, Louisiana. The Deacons were everyday citizens who by 1965 had organized into more than 50 chapters throughout the South in self-defense from the Ku Klux Klan.
In 1964, down in Louisiana, there were all types of demonstrations going on by freedom riders. Many times, the demonstrations would be met by armed white resistance. People were dying and being shot and intimidated because they were unarmed. And basically, because they were unarmed, they were also being denied the right to vote.
The Deacons protected civil rights workers for CORE, the Congress of Racial Equality, who were registering voters in Louisiana and Mississippi. They patrolled black neighborhoods and protected black churches where CORE was holding voting rights seminars.
These were regular, everyday people. They were not some paramilitary group. The thing that made them different is they were veterans from the Korean War. They were veterans from World War II. And so they did have the training and they did have the discipline that came from being veterans. Once the Klansmen and the white citizen consular and the deputy sheriff that was wearing the sheet at night learned that these Deacons for Defense would shoot back, then they were not as readily willing to go and pounce upon them in the wee hours of the morning.
Are you going to do something about it?
Because now they knew that, well, the right to bear arms is providing constitutional rights for these blacks, irrespective of the fact that we want to take away their civil rights. They're fighting on solid ground.
The effectiveness of the Deacons in deterring violence was so great that Dr. Martin Luther King and Floyd McKissick of CORE hired the Deacons to protect the marchers from Klan aggression in the 1966 March Against Fear.
The very effect of armed resistance in the name of civil rights is what really cast a new enthusiasm into the civil rights movement at a critical time.
Okay, we back, and we still black. What we going to now, man?
I said you had a topic, right?
Okay, we have a topic that was sent in by a long time
Supporter.
I don't like that word fan.
No,
fan is
supporter.
short for fanatic, and there's nothing to get fanatical about. Supporter, Andrea. So, and it was on this phenomena, I guess it's a phenomena. It's from an article that was written in the Huffington Post, and it's called, "It's Just a Bro Job, No Homo." It's not what I'm saying, that's just the name of the article. You can look it up. It's an article from March 22nd, 2017. And basically, I'm going to read the first paragraph. And what it says is, what the premise is that men having oral copulations with other men, heterosexual men, just doing it as a favor because y'all are bros. So they call it a bro job. You're not gay, you're just helping out a friend. And the premise is, does having sex with men make you gay? That's the question. And it says, men have been having sex since the dawn of time. And no, I don't mean with women, I mean with other men. Dispute this all you want. Make claims of biblical proportions, but it is well documented fact that man-on-man sex is not new. However, sexual identifiers, i.e. gay, straight, lesbian, bisexual, etc. are. There are terms, these terms are all rather modern when compared with the number of years that Homo sapiens have been mating without labels. with one another. So why have more recent generations found the need to compartmentalize into neat, tidy boxes those who are anything other than heterosexual? I'll start off. And it makes me want to read more of this article. I didn't read the whole thing, I can't lie. But basically what they're saying is true. For years, the men have been having sex with men, women with women, animals, canaries, you name it, they did it. And there was no, depending on where you were, people did what they wanted to do, There was no shame. And then, I guess in this last couple of centuries or whatever, people decided that, I guess it should be compartmentalized. Of course, basically a lot of stuff is cultural. You're taught that that person is gay and this person is straight, and you can't be a man in a woman's body, you can't be a man in a woman's body, and you can't do this and you can't do that and you can't do the other. But or you'll be shamed or shunned. But what is the question? The question is, why did that become the way it is? And I hate to ask Uptown this question, but I have to. So why do you think that is? Based on what they're saying there, the fact that there was no homosexuality, they were, like we were saying before, the Spartans and different armies, there were places in the world that people do all different types of things, and it's accepted sexually, religiously, culturally. And then they started talking about you can't do this and you can't do that the other. Why would you say that that's a problem? And that basically they're asking, why do you think that's a problem?
Well, basically, I'm not a religious person, but it's in the Bible, right? The Bible condemns this.
No, it's not.
The Bible condemns homosexuality with Sodom and Gomorrah.
No, it doesn't.
The Bible condemns it.
No, it doesn't.
The Bible condemns it.
No, it doesn't.
The Bible condemns it.
Okay, well, show it to me next time. The next episode, because he's going to go to a church and he's going to get a Bible, and he's going to come back and show me what it says. What does it say?
Man, destroy the whole place. Anyway, listen.
Okay.
The church, the Bible condemns this, man. And basically, it's 2017. We have labels. That's what it is. You have straight people, and you don't have people that's not straight. That's it. So back in the day, what they did, that was their business. Yes, we label things. You have the LGBT community. They got their labels, right?
No, people gave them a
lesbian, and well, listen. First of all, transgender people call themselves transgender.
Yeah, because
they don't.
Come on now, this culture. In this culture, you have to identify as something.
And
you go get a job, they ask you, hey, what are you?
And you can put other. There's always another box.
Or they going to want to know what other is.
Okay, but the people label themselves, they identify with something, and that's okay with me. You have people that are gay, which is okay with me, so that's their business.
Okay, do you think that a man can have oral sex with another man and not be gay?
No.
What do you base that on?
No, he the only way that he's not gay if he was raped, he was, something like that. The man was raped. People go to jail get raped. I won't say they're gay because they got raped. People get raped. It happens. But no, if you willingly participate in the act with the same sex, yes, you're gay.
Because
you're having sex with the same sex.
But I thought gay was a lifestyle.
I'm assuming that's the lifestyle he's chosen.
No, he's just somebody who lives a straight lifestyle.
There's no straight. Once you cross
into women, he has kids, he has a whole family, chilling, he's good, and his friend comes to him and says, yo, check this out. Remember when we was kids and we experimented at that time? The guy says, yeah, that was crazy. He said, yo, I know you're not gay, but do you think that you could, hit me up? I'm backed up, bro. Use your hand. Yeah, my hand don't feel the same.
Zaiyah,
and then, wait, let me finish. Let me families.
Yeah.
And so he says, yo, man, but that's gay. He says, are you gay? He says, no. He said, you did it before, so why can't you do it again? I'm not going to try to hit on you nothing, bro. You know how they talk, bro. The guy's like, you know, okay, we'll put it that way. Put a condom on so I don't have to touch you. And I'm going to hit you off. Okay, now go ahead. Up, down.
Okay, Zion, you think this is moonlight? So, it's gay, that's it. You committed the act, that's a gay act, which is okay. If that's your thing, that's your thing. I have nothing against it. It's gay. Same sex equals gay. That's just what it is. You ask me about by my standards, that's what it is. If you have a woman that sleeps with women and men, she's bisexual. That's it.
And if you have a man that sleeps with men and women?
He's gay/bisexual. No, that sounds a little odd to say. He's gay. Which is okay.
That shit is going on the cut room.
Listen, I love my brothers and sisters. I love my brothers and sisters in the LGBT community. There's nothing wrong with that, Zion.
Okay. And you think it's because of the contact? The intimate contact?
Yes, it's the act, period.
So the fact that he put his penis in his mouth?
Listen,
Then that means that he's...
the fact that...
No, I'm just trying to say, because you know where I'm going with this.
I don't know where you're going with this. I have no idea where you're going with this.
There's certain things that I do with women,
Okay.
and there's certain things that I do with men.
Okay.
Woman, take her to bed, slap on the ass and all that good stuff. With men, shake the hand and all that good stuff. But I'm going to go back to that whole thing with the teams. Now, I'd say, you know, slap a woman on the ass and say, whose stuff is this? People on these football teams and these basketball teams, not basketball team more or less, but basketball teams and baseball team. And most of the teams that like to do it are the teams with the tightest uniforms. That would be football and baseball.
Okay, sorry. All right.
They just love slapping each other on the ass. Okay, does the act of doing that make a person bisexual?
No.
Why not?
Because they're doing it based on the sports. If you play sports and understand, it's just one of the things certain players do, not all. They celebrate one another for something good happening. They pat each other on the behind. It's a sports thing, and that's all it does. It's just saying, "Yo, man, great job," you know, whatever. That's it.
Suppose the guy said, "Yo, man, check this out. I don't normally do this, but you made us win the Super Bowl. Bro job for you." Now, it's done in the context of sports. He's only doing it because this guy caught that last touchdown, and the fact that he caught it, you got your you get that bonus. Like if you win the Super Bowl in a certain amount of years, they give you $5 more million, or some crazy amount like that. And he said, I'm gonna hit him off just for that, because this is my people. And then he never did anything like that again in life. Would that be the equivalent of slapping another man on the ass?
No.
I mean, like I say, I slap women on the ass. I don't slap men on the ass.
Okay.
So the fact that y'all slap men on the ass, I could say the same thing.
And Zion, it's okay. You can say whatever you want. That's the beautiful thing about life. You can say what you want.
No, but I want it to be true.
What you want to be true?
I want you to agree with me.
About what?
That the fact that they slap the men on the ass means that they're gay.
I'm not.
Why not? Why not?
So that makes no sense.
Why does it make sense?
I just explained to you the reason why athletes do that has nothing to do with anything sexual. It's just they do it.
But this is the same thing they're doing. You're just justifying.
They're doing a sexual act.
Slapping somebody on the ass is, what is a sexual act?
They're doing a sexual act.
Let's look up the definition of sexual act.
Okay, somebody pat somebody on the behind because they hit a home run or scored the game-winning touchdown.
You don't know what their damn motivation behind slapping you on the ass is. Okay, sexual act relating to the instincts, physiological process and activities connected with physical attraction or intimate physical contact between individuals. I think slapping somebody on the ass is intimate physical contact. Wouldn't you agree?
No, I do not agree. I do not agree.
Okay, go out there and slap a woman on the ass and wait for a cop to come. And I bet you they disagree with you.
Of course they will, based on the law for that. But
Okay,
that's
so
saying, but if that's
we're
saying,
talking about law and then we're talking about your own personal feelings. They're saying in Webster's dictionary that slapping somebody in the ass is sexual contact in nature. They're saying it there.
and I don't listen to Webster. I listen to Jamal's dictionary. You do the Urban Dictionary?
Yeah, what the hell? Because I know it's not going to be the other one.
Oh, you go. Okay, now we do the Urban Dictionary now, huh? All right.
No, because I'm looking for Webster. I don't see Webster.
Oh, you ain't got to go to Webster no more? Look for Jamal's dictionary.
Okay, we could do fellatio.
Wikipedia, you know Wikipedia. Come on, anybody can do Wikipedia.
Okay. We'll take fellatio. No.
Wikipedia again?
No. We're going to take...
Well, but just tell me where you're trying to go with this.
No.
We're actually recording, so where you trying to go with this?
No, wait. I just want to... Look. I wasn't using the right word. I was using blowjob. I should have said oral simulation of a man's penis. Oral simulation of a man's penis.
Okay.
There's no sexual, like, gay or straight or whatever. It's just saying oral simulation. So basically what they're saying is both of them are one and the same.
Sorry, okay. I don't care what Webster said.
No.
I'm telling you what I'm saying.
No, I'm telling you what I'm saying. They're both one and the same. You can't. It's like going to prison and the guy walks up to you and slaps you on the ass. You're going to say, well, I didn't score a touchdown, but go team. No, you're going to turn around and try to kill him.
Correct.
Okay, so it's the same thing. You can justify it. The person who did it the first time had an ulterior motive. It wasn't like, oh, I just want to do this to show him how happy I am. It was like slap, and then there was a moment of silence in the stadium. The guy turned around, and then everybody said, "Yay!" and it became a new thing. But I understand what they're saying. I'm not saying I agree with it.
Okay.
But I understand what they're saying, and that's what I try to do. I just say, okay, well, hey, I'm going to go out and practice that. It's just, if somebody's going to do something like that, who am I to put him in a box and say, this is what you are because you did that?
Okay,
because if they say that's not what I am.
Oh, sorry, I'm with that 100%. As a person, I don't throw labels on people. You ask me what I thought about it, I give you my opinion on it.
No, you said what they are. You said it's gay.
Yes, yes. You ask me, I'm telling you it's gay, and there's nothing wrong with that. Now, if the person say they're not gay for doing it, okay, no problem.
But
I'm not going to debate a person on
I just like the way they start the article when they start talking about history. History, it's just like
whatever it is.
There was a time where blacks were kings and queens. How did we become niggas? It's just like back then we was kings and queens, but they changed the rules and somehow we equated with everything bad. So somebody would say, oh, such. You say, oh, that means you're a nigga. It's like, why do I gotta be a nigga? But that's how people define certain things. That's how the woman on Facebook the other day put a newborn baby up. This little nigga, such and such. I'm like, I wanted to write her and say, what is wrong with you? But I'll leave that one alone. I'm just saying that to say that history changes things. There are Greece. You know, people call that whole Greek going in the backside.
Okay, yeah.
Came from Greece because that's what they did. The women they wanted to remain virgins until they were married. So it was the thing to do. Hit them in the shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Back door to Hollywood.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, and there's a lot of other cultures that did a lot of different things with men and women, what have you, and it was not considered gay. And if it wasn't considered gay at the time, it wasn't gay. I think that, this is my thing. I think that as black people, and black men in particular, me being of West Indian descent, I think that they spend so much time, they waste so much time on that homosexuality nonsense that the Chinese are taking the whole island. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, we're going to kill all the gays, we're going to get them all this buggery, you won't be able to go swimming in your own water because they're going to buy up all the damn beaches. It's like they did in Haiti. You know what I'm saying? And we worry about a lot of crap. If a guy say he did it and he ain't gay, then damn it, he ain't gay. You know what I'm saying? But we just get caught up in that you have to be that because, no, you have to be that because I said you are that. There's so many variations on a theme. You know what I'm saying? You got cross-dressers that only sleep with women. You got cross-dressers that are married to women. You got people get sex changes. The man get a sex change from a man to a woman.
And still be with a woman.
And still be a damn woman. Yeah. You know, or you get somebody who gets sex change from a man to, you know, it's just so many variations on a theme that you just have to say,
don't worry
people
about
are
it.
just fucking people.
Like,
Just
don't worry about it.
People.
Mind your business and don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Focus on your own issues. I'm with you there. Focus on your issues. Don't worry about other people.
Yeah. That's just my thing. It's not trying to advocate for anybody. It's just, come on. Then you gonna destroy somebody's life because you gotta say, yo, man, me and my friend, we do this, such. You might raise an eyebrow to it. I don't particularly care for it. It's like somebody said when I had lobster last night. I don't eat seafood.
Right.
You eat seafood, you're gay. Come on now. Seafood eater. But where are you going?
On that note, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back.
You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Spyro Agnew to eat hog maws confiscated from a Harlem sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by the Schaefer Award Theater and will not star Natalie Woods and Steve McQueen or Bullwinkle and Julia.
Okay, we're back, and we're still black. Where we going tonight, young man?
ZSAs.
Okay, for those of you that don't know, ZSAs are Zaiyah's House Service Announcements, not to be confused with public service announcements. It's a part of the show, myself and Brother Uptown, talking about topics that we're passionate about. But it's not official until you hear the ZSA song. And if you know the words, sing along.
It's ZSA time with Uptown and Zaiyah. It's ZSA time, we're gonna take you a little higher.
And on that note, Brother Uptown's going to give his ZSA.
My ZSA is Summertime Madness.
Whatever do you mean, young man?
Well, beautiful time in the summer, but you see a lot of crazy stuff happen. It's madness, you know. Ladies, I know this is new thing, this new trend that's happening. I don't know if you've seen it, Zaiyah. Ladies are running around here wearing furry slippers, all out in the community, just traveling. No shoes, it's just furry slippers. It's the new trend. I'm seeing more and more every day. I'm like, it's a group of women, 4 ladies, furry slippers. At first I thought
home slippers, like the plush.
The plush, yeah, out in the street. The little dog in the air, so just a little nice pocketbook as an outfit. A little bit too much, ladies. Stop it with the furry slippers.
Well, you don't like flats.
I hate flats. Flats should be burnt in a flat factory somewhere.
You see, women should be taken in if they're going flat. Get a desk we call it, desk appearance.
I get a ticket for wearing flats. Somebody heels. But anyway, no slippers. It's disgusting. Red, come on, and the feet be black at the bottom. Don't do it.
I used to wear pajamas before.
Oh, you're not doing slippers now. Okay, fellas. Ladies are telling me some bad stuff about you, man. They said, ladies are saying that these guys with these white T-shirts, because Zaiyah called them wife beaters.
That's what they told me.
But they got a ring around the collar. They dirty. Guys are taking off. It's hot. Summertime, I get it. But
it's 90 degrees.
But they got a black ring.
Hey,
I haven't had a black ring on a shirt since I was a kid. You know, when you're young.
You never know. He might. Shedding.
It's a phenomenon. There's nothing but black rings on his man. Come on, guys, you gotta clean the back of that neck. I know you in the shower washing, but get that neck, man. Put some alcohol on that neck. Can't have a ring around the
He
neck.
ain't putting in work. That's why she knows him. I'm telling you, every time one complain about something like that, it's being big, whatever, he ain't putting in work. He putting in work, she ain't complaining about nothing.
Which definitely, I can say, agree with that, probably is true. Ladies, taking a selfie is a beautiful thing. I love to see women take selfies, having a good time. But your background, come on, your background be dirty. These dirty backgrounds. Taking a picture, but they got the dirty background. Learn how to crop and everything. You got dishes in the sink. You got the bed undone. You got the dog pissing on the carpet. You got a snake running around. Come on, take the picture, but get rid of that dirty background. It's horrible. I don't know if you've ever seen selfies and see the filthy background.
Oh, toilet bowls, just all kind of wretchedness.
Yeah. Come on, ladies, clean it up, clean it up.
I always tell people when you take it, it's like I take it, somebody say, oh, can you take a picture for me? And the first thing I say is, can you move over here? And they get mad at me. And I always tell people, you have to pay attention to the backdrop.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't. You got a beautiful picture, but there's a bum sleeping behind you. It's just like, come on,
Nothing wrong with the bums.
If you take a selfie in the bathroom, toilet bowl should not be showing. I don't want to see your toilet bowl. I don't want to see the mop bucket with the mop in it in the corner. If you do it in the kitchen, I don't want to see that you have an illegal washing machine in the project.
or the meat freezer.
Got the extra freezer in the living room.
Exactly. You put your little plan on now.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Just take it easy. Fall back.
Yes, indeed. And fellas, what y'all need to stop doing is stop filming these videos with these ladies fighting. A lot of times it's the fellas filming. Filming women fighting. What you need to do, fellas, is start breaking the fight up and protecting these ladies. I'm tired of that. Women are fighting, and men are move, and they're the first one recording. You look weak doing that. Weak.
They're not men. They media queens. Yeah, media queen. All they want is the damn how many likes I get. Some people's in it for the like. They won't be liked.
So cut it out, fellas. Ladies, summertime madness is here. The barbecues are here. I get it. If you do get this, do not spend all your food stamps on a barbecue. Don't do it. Save some for the house. They up there spend $300. Half of it's on crab legs, that's seafood, and they want to, go to the barbecue. They got crab legs, they got little lobster tails, whatever. But then they got no food in the fridge. Don't do it. It's not that important. All right. And fellas, last but not least, fellas, stop using all your food stamp card on the barbecue too, trying to show off. And that's my ZSA from me to you.
So where we going to now, young man? Oh, we out? Wow, it's been such a short amount of time. Okay, so on that note, I'm going to say Buddha to you, yours, and peace.
We out.
Do you like it?